Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
So this is kind of a news/rumor that's been going on in the Star Wars community, coming to us from the Bespin Bullet, as well as Making Star Wars. Now, they've gotten things right in the past, so I'm not, discrediting them and saying that they're spreading false information, because honestly, nobody knows what the future's going to be right now, so there's no way to tell if they're right or wrong. But what they're talking about is very interesting, and that's why I wanted to bring it to you. I know I'm looking at you, but I mean everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with Skeleton Crew. We know, according to Steve Urkel, that it was supposed to be coming out
November, right?
in November, late November this year. Somehow they're now saying that this now points to it coming out November next year. Yes, November 2024. Both Making Star Wars and the Bespin Bulletin have been pointing to this. Now, I don't know what their sources are. Kind of, obviously they...
Super secret sources.
Probably. They're not going to come out and tell you, because once everyone knows who their sources are, their sources lose their jobs.
If they have someone inside Lucasfilm, for example, spilling the beans, you don't want to cost them their job. And your source.
True. Making Star Wars on his live YouTube show said that he heard from sources that the series would be Christmas holiday period of 2024. He said, yeah, it's not what I want and what Bespin Bulletin has heard, and what I have now heard from two separate sources is it would likely be out after Halloween. Today I spoke with somebody, this is a Lucasfilm person, that they expect it to be holiday 2024, Christmas season. When I hear holiday season, I expect between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah. Why?
Exactly. Out of the three shows we originally believed we were getting next year...
Well, I think we all thought, next was...
Skeleton Crew...
I don't know that they ever actually came out and said that. That was, the next show.
We just based everything on filming schedules, and we believed that Skeleton Crew was the furthest along. It was filming alongside Ahsoka, and studios, next to each other, which made us believe that there might have been some crossover, possibly, with Ahsoka characters.
And as you point out, we heard from Urkel, or Julia White, who is in the show, that it was coming in November. Which I don't think he would. I don't know if that was a casual. He said it during a hockey game or something, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I don't know if that was a casual slip or if that was him guesstimating or what that was.
Well, and everything that I saw, the information I saw coming out, that was the show that was done recording first. They were finished recording before the Acolyte was.
Yeah, they were done before the strike. I was.
They were done.
Impression.
Yes, the Acolyte I believe was also done before the strike because Andor had a couple of weeks of recording left.
Yeah, they were close.
Making Star Wars has also said that next year we'll be seeing the Acolyte before we'll be seeing Skeleton Crew. In that Andor is most likely going to be slipping into 2025.
So what is coming next and when exactly then?
Well, according to Making Star Wars, they're saying that Acolyte is probably coming in the second quarter of 2024, which is around August, maybe, is their guess, and that Andor Season 2 will come in early 2025. I don't know if I agree that timeline, or maybe just I don't like that timeline.
Seems odd.
Right. The show that we assume the most done to come after the show that isn't done?
Plus you have a huge gap.
That's a very big gap to have nothing Star Wars until August.
So what do you do to keep people subscribed for the next 8-9 months?
Well, the only thing that I can see is Bad Batch getting pushed up.
But that's, 2 months worth of show? Mm-hmm. And one that not everybody's going to care about and watch, if we're being completely honest about it.
Right, a lot of people do not watch the animated Star Wars.
No.
They're there for the live-action Star Wars, and 2024 was promised to be a big year.
Yeah, I don't know if it was promised. I don't know if they've ever came out.
Promised.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they've ever come out and really gave us a schedule, per se.
No, they never do.
No, because then they can do things like this and say, well, we didn't say anything.
Isn't that part of the downfall with Marvel, is they give you a schedule and then they spend all this time going, I'm sorry, we're moving that. I'm sorry, we're moving this.
Yeah. So I guess that's one way to look at it, right? You're not, disappointed that they're not holding to the schedule.
Right.
Except for the presumed schedule, I guess.
Either way, I don't really agree. I think Skeleton Crew should still be the next show, unless for some reason it has some holiday significance. But
How?
The one leaked trailer that was on the internet, the one that they released at Celebration, there was no holiday anything. There was no Life Day celebration.
Life Day? Yeah, a couple kids, we can only get home before Life Day.
That's totally irrelevant, though, honestly.
I don't know, maybe they just feel like with the kids in it, it's something more.
No.
Gather your family around the television and watch it. I don't know. I'm trying to.
I understand what you're trying to do. I just don't want them to be trying to do that.
I just find it very, very strange that you're going to have such a huge gap of no Star Wars content.
Right. It seems bad.
Especially when you're struggling right now.
Especially they're struggling.
You want to keep subscribers and you're not going to give them anything. I mean, because let's be real about it. There's a lot of people who just subscribe for Star Wars or just Marvel and Star Wars or, that sort of thing.
Well, and they just upped their prices.
Yeah.
You're going to up your prices and give us no content.
Yeah, brilliant strategy.
Bad move.
No, I mean, it is a really bad move. I know a lot of people who, they play the musical chairs game with streaming services where they pull the chair out when nothing's on and sit back down in it when something is going on, right?
Well, and with them all having Black Friday deals this year, which I didn't really even know streaming services did, but so many of them, HBO had a, $2.99 a month for 6 months deal, and all these are like, well, just don't be subscribed for a month and we'll give you the deal. You're encouraging me to unsubscribe anytime you don't have anything I want.
Yeah, especially your late summer, early fall. You're like, oh, November's coming around, Black Friday. I'll just unsubscribe for a couple months and get you for cheaper. Mm-hmm. And if you don't offer that, then I just say screw you. I don't come back, right?
Bingo.
Yeah, I think it's a weird strategy.
It's a very weird strategy. You have to keep continual content to make me want to be in the loop, to not fall behind and play catch up later.
Yeah, if I cancel your service and I'm getting entertained by other services I have, like if I'm, Netflix is constantly putting things out, and other ones I have constantly put things out, I don't even miss you anymore. Like, I mean, seriously, if it's not for Star Wars and Marvel on Disney Plus, I don't even know it exists. Like, there's nothing. I don't care so much about their classics or anything else they put on there. So,
right.
So don't put out Star Wars for a year, and why would I be subscribed?
Yeah, that's like a death sentence. So they've got to be careful, and things need to come out. And I'm really hoping that the Bespin Bulletin and Making Star Wars are incorrect this time.
I do too, but I mean, who knows?
Who knows? I also found I'm going to call it a fluff piece today, because it's about something fluffy. Sorry, is that weird?
Yeah, right now it is, until you explain what you're talking about.
Okay, so Dave Filoni, he doesn't follow the Twitter and social media so much, but he did get inklings, people very curious about what happened to Sabine's Loth-cat, who was left behind in Ezra's tower, a.k.a. Sabine's new house, I guess.
Yeah.
Apparently the cat has a name. Didn't know that. Its name is Merly.
Okay.
Merly the Loth-cat. People were really worried about what his fate was after Sabine left him there. I mean, it's a tower. I mean, people are like, well, if she left the door open, no, it's a tower with an elevator.
Maybe he knows how to use the elevator.
Well, here's what Dave said. I don't do the social media or any of that stuff, but it filtered through to me that people are worried that the cat got left alone. I'm like, I'm a pet owner. Of course I know what happens to the cat, but it was amazing that of all the things in the galaxy to be concerned about, the fans are concerned about the cat. It's totally fair. I imagine Dave owns wolves. I don't know why.
Jeez. Some people do. Goal. I mean, it's not a common pet.
Or else he has huskies.
Yeah. It's like the next best thing.
Hounds, yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't do the social media thing. Like, you would think somebody like that would kind of want to be in tune with what the fans are. I know it's hard sometimes.
Favreau says that they like to listen to what the fans say. And fan water cooler, so to speak. But then Dave's like, I don't really do that.
You really kind of should in this day and age. It's like free, feedback, basically.
Absolutely.
Like, you're going to get blunt, honest feedback about your shows. And maybe that's why you stay away from it, is because you don't necessarily want that. I mean, it's got to be hard being a Dave Filoni and having basically a million people kind of commenting what they think, and some not so good, and some really good. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just interesting.
But continuing, he said, with the cat, obviously there's a couple things at play. First, I think Sabine would leave the door cracked open. Second, I think Merly's smart enough to be able to move through the ventilation ducts up and down that tower. I don't think he needs to operate the elevator. I wouldn't question if he could, but I think he can move up and down the ductwork to get out there to the ground level. Maybe there are other Loth-cats around. He's not the only one. Oh boy, Dave. Why? Why couldn't the cat use the elevator now?
Well, maybe he's got a saber and he can just saber copter around.
Sure.
He gets down that way.
With his tail.
Yeah, there you go. He tailcopters.
Tailcopters. Filoni says that he could probably have written a whole documentary on what happens to the Loth-cat. He says, I don't think Merly is what I would call a domestic cat. I think he's a wild cat that lives with Sabine, and she likes that fact and feeds it. Merly knows it's a good situation, so it hangs out. Merly's an opportunist and probably a bit of a pain in the butt.
Maybe he should do the documentary.
He probably should. We need a whole history on Merly the Loth-cat.
Yeah.
I didn't know it had a name, but of course they named it on set. One of them would look at that and go, it's got a name.
And a story now. I'm surprised he doesn't have a story yet. We'll have a comic book series, a 24-part comic book series about the day of Merly when Sabine left.
Merly's big day.
Merly's big day.
We'll find out that he found a battle droid that wasn't dead and he fought it off.
Oh, it'll be something epic, yeah. Every Star Wars character has an epic backstory.
Epic backstory. He changed
None of them have just
everything.
done nothing with their life and kind of just been there. They all have done something important.
Yeah, so now all your viewers also know about Merly the Loth-cat.
Yeah, that's the
From
public
Ahsoka.
Service we bring.
That is the public. That's the services we provide.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But anyway, that's all we got for this time. Now it's your turn to take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. Tell us when you think Skeleton Crew is going to land. What do you think about this basically year delay for it? Whatever the case may be, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.